Hi everybody, welcome back. It's time to do some yoga. So let's get to it. Unroll your mat, grab some props if you'd like to use them. I'll see you right back here. We'll begin today in child's pose, so come onto hands and knees. Separate your knees wide, bring your toes together. Relax the hips to the heels, reach your arms forward. If the arms are forward, you can turn the palms up, or if you prefer, you can reach the arms back behind you. Obviously modifying your practice today as it makes sense for you. Seeing as we're in winter season, and this tends to be a time where people get sick a little bit more frequently, and yours truly is just getting over being sick. This is going to be a practice that is more about tonifying the body, right? More about bolstering our immune system and just taking it easy a little bit more. So if you're like me and you're coming back from being under the weather, it's usually best to do a little bit less than usual, just giving your body the opportunity to gradually work back to where you were. All right, so movement is typically great medicine, but we just want to keep a mindful eye on how much movement we're doing and how much builds up versus too much movement, which can detract from our health, especially in that fragile period of just coming back into robust health. So take it easy as you need to today. Take breaks, of course, if that needs to happen. Always come back to the breath. And if nothing else, just let the breath happen. Right, your breath is going to be your guide, the best indicator as to what's going on in the body. Feel free to engage a gentle ujjayi breath to help create some heat, burning things off from the inside out, purifying the body. Let's take another deep breath or two right here. Coming up onto hands and knees, bring the knees in just a little so they now line up under your hips. Tucking your toes, arch the spine, come into a cow pose. Lift the tailbone, let the eyes look up. Exhale into cat pose as you round down. You can press the tops of the feet down. Inhaling, arching, tuck the toes, eyes looking up. Downward facing dog, the hips up and back. And just taking a slightly longer down dog here as we warm up the body. If you want to walk out the feet like I'm doing, feel free to do that. And checking in, seeing how things are going. Big inhale, lift the heels up. Big exhale, sink the heels down. Bring it forward to plank pose, lining up the shoulders over the wrists. Come on to hands and knees. Inhaling, arching the spine, cow pose, eyes up. Exhale into cat pose, round it down. Inhaling, arching, tuck the toes, lift the tailbone. Down dog as you exhale the hips up and back. Inhale, lift the heels high. Exhale, sink the heels back. Bring it forward to plank pose. Come on to hands and knees. Reach the right leg back behind you, lift it off the mat, extend the left arm forward. Bring the knee to the elbow and round it in. Inhaling, reach it out. Come back to hands and knees. Tuck the toes, arching the spine. Cat pose, round it down. Inhale, arching into your cow. Downward facing dog, the hips up and back. Inhale, lift the heels high. Exhale, sink the heels down. Inhale, bring it forward to plank. Exhale to hands and knees. Inhale, the left leg back, the right arm forward, reach. Exhale, knee to elbow round. Inhaling, reach it out. Exhaling, hands and knees. Inhale into cow pose, arching, eyes up. Exhale, cat pose, rounding. Press away from the mat. Inhaling, tuck the toes as you arch the spine. Downward facing dog, the hips up and back. Inhale, lift the heels high. Exhale, sink the heels down. Bring it forward to plank. Come on to hands and knees. Last set. Left leg back, right arm forward, extend. Exhale, round and bring it in. Inhaling, reach out. Come back to hands and knees. Tuck the toes, arch the spine into cow. Exhale, round it down into cat. Inhaling, tuck the toes, arch the spine. Downward facing dog, the hips up and back. Inhale, lift the heels up. Exhale, heels back down. Take it forward to plank. Come on to hands and knees. Right leg back, left arm forward, extend. Exhale, rounding knee to elbow. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale, hands and knees. Inhale, arch the spine into cow. Exhale, cat, releasing, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, arching, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Look forward through the hands, walk or hop your feet to the front of the mat. Fold over the legs when you get there, and with the feet slightly separating, take your hands to opposite elbows, drop the head down, hanging forward in ragdoll. You can bend the knees as much as you like, just make sure there's at least a micro bend. We want the low back to release, we want the hamstrings to release. You can nod the head or sway a little if that feels good. Switch the hands so the opposite hand will sit on top. Really letting the head hang heavy. One more breath. Relaxing the arms toward the mat. Roll up slow to stand as you press down. Slowly uncurl, lifting up and away from the mat. Come up. Soften the shoulders back, standing tall in Tadasana. Inhale, sweep the arms around. Exhale, dive right back over the legs. Lift your chest on the inhale. Exhale, the left leg back in low lunge. Turn the back heel at a 45-degree angle. Feel free if you want to grab blocks under the hands here. Setting up Parsvottanasana, straighten the front leg. Lengthening over the right leg. Try to level the hips so as your head hangs down, without overthinking it too much. Just check in and get a sense of where the hips are. If you notice one side lifting up versus the other, and maybe just taking a minor tweak to level it out. Again, no overthinking it, no big movements. Good. Then inhale, bend the right knee, lengthen the spine, head up. Exhaling, straighten the leg, head down. 2 more like that. Inhaling, bending the right knee. Exhaling, lengthen, head down. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Low lunge, readjust the back foot as you bend the right knee, press back to downward facing dog. Big inhale, come forward to plank. Drop the knees, lower all the way onto the belly. Slide the fingertips back a tiny bit. Press through the palms, tops of the feet down, lift into cobra pose, chest up. And bring it back to down dog. Hips up and back. We'll hold for another deep breath. Look forward through the hands, walk or hop your feet lightly to the front. Lift your chest on the inhale. Exhale, round it down, head down. Inhale, sweep the arms around, rise up. Exhale, dive right back over the legs. Soften knees if you need. Lifting the chest as you inhale. Exhale, send the right leg back, low lunge. Turn the back heel, 45-degree angle. Blocks if you want to use them under the hands. Parsvottanasana, straighten the left leg. Lengthen over the legs, soften through the toes. Your left thigh, in a very subtle way, kind of spirals in a little bit, while your right thigh spirals out a little bit. Check in with the hips to level if you can, and take 1 more breath. Good. Inhaling, bend the left knee, lengthen the spine, head up. Exhale, straighten, head down. 2 more. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. Low lunge, bend the left knee, readjust the back toes, down dog, send it back. With your next inhale, take it forward to plank. Exhale, lower the knees, lower all the way to the belly. Untuck the toes, slide fingertips back a little, hug the elbows in, lift into your cobra pose. Downward facing dog, press back. 1 breath. Soft knees look forward, walk or hop the feet. Chest up on the inhale. Exhale, round it down. Stepping feet together, toes, heels touch, Utkatasana, chair pose. Surya Namaskar B, keeping it nice and easy. Dive over the legs, Uttanasana. Chest up on the inhale. Exhale, you can step it back, you can jump it into Chaturanga if that's in your practice. We'll meet in down dog any way you choose to get there. And from your down dog, inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, warrior 1, Virabhadrasana, step through. Back heel spins to the mat, lift up. Look up if you can, soften the shoulders, keep a nice deep bend in the right knee. 1 more big inhale as you reach. Exhale, hands to the mat, plank pose, step it back. Chaturanga or modify. Inhale to your back bend, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, 1 breath. Switching sides, inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, warrior 1, Virabhadrasana, step through. Right heel spins to the mat, lift up. Reach high, look up if you can. One more big inhale as you reach and lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, plank pose, inhale. Chaturanga or modify. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Let's give it another deep breath or two right here. Listen carefully. We'll soften a bend in the knees and walk the hands back to the feet, folding over legs at the back of the mat. Keep your feet about hip width distance apart. They should already be there from your downward facing dog. Padangusthasana, grab onto big toes in yogi toe lock. Lift the chest on the inhale. Then exhale, round it down as you fold. Sit bones high, soften shoulders, and let's give it another deep breath or two right here. Inhaling, lift the chest. Exhaling, let go of the toes. Bring hands to the waist, and with a flat back, press up slow to stand. Good. Standing tall, keep the hands on the waist. Shift your weight to the right leg. Lift the left knee. Keep the hips level. You can hold in balance here. Find your drishti. That's staying focused on one point. Or you can interlace fingers in front of the left knee and hold for a little more stability. If you want to go for it today, the option is your right hand will settle on the waist and you're grabbing your big left toe in yogi toe lock. The standing leg remains solid. You can bend the left knee as much as it needs to bend. Lift up, grow tall, and when you're ready, if you want to go for it, press your left heel forward, drop the left hip a little, so the hips stay level, keep it balanced. Relax the gaze past the nose. Let's give it another full breath. And if you want to go for it, the option is you can stay here or release your big toe, keep the hips level, and without sinking back, stand tall, lift the arms, one breath. Let's all meet with the left knee bending. Hands on the waist, lower the left leg, standing nice and tall. Keep the hands on the waist. Setting up the second side, shift your weight to the left leg, lift the right knee. Keep the hips level, no hiking up the right hip. Find your drishti past the nose. You can hold, you can interlace fingers and hold here, more stability. Or grab your big right toe in yogi toe lock, the left hand settles on the waist. Press down, lift up, so the shoulders line up over the hips. And when you're ready to go for it, if you're going for it, press your right heel straight forward. Keep the hips level, so the right hip drops a little bit. Nice, steady gaze. One more breath. And you can keep it here, or you can let go. Lift the arms, one breath. Whoop. Let's rebend the right knee. We'll all meet with the right knee bending, hands on the waist. Lower the right leg. Relax both arms by your side, returning to Tadasana. Stand tall. Inhale, sweep the arms around. Exhale, dive over the legs. Chest up on the inhale. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Lift the right leg high. Low lunge, step through the hands. Lower the back knee, Ardha Hanuman half split as you straighten the right leg. Feel free to keep it right here. If you want to work this a little deeper, since we did some hamstring stretching, we can work into full Hanumanasana. If you have the full split in your practice, feel free to go for it. Otherwise, we can ease into it. I'll show you how I modify into the stretch. I take a block. So either use a block or any props that you might have available. I put the block under the front thigh on the tall side. So this helps prevent me sliding into something that I can't get out of, which would happen. So keep your hips square to the front of the mat. And maybe your hands need to stay down for stability. You can always put props under the hands here too. Or if you're stable enough, right, and you're propped and you're not going anywhere like I am, then maybe lift the arms and take hands to opposite elbows. All right, it's a nice opening stretch. All right, heart opening, shoulder opening, hip opening, hamstring opening. It's an everything opening pose. Let's give it another full breath. And returning hands to the mat if they're not already there. Slide the right heel in, slide the left knee in, removing props to the side. Let's take a brief pigeon pose. Slide the right knee through. Left leg back, sit tall. Level the hips, use any props under the right hip or thigh if you need to help keep the hips level. If you're good to go, walk the hands out, lower the head down, and let's take another deep breath or two right here. And coming out, slide the hands in, lift the head up. Down dog, step it back. You can shake it off. You can take a plank chaturanga up dog if you'd like to flow through. And we'll meet in downward facing dog, switching the sides, lifting up the left leg, big inhale. Exhale, low lunge. Lower the right knee, Ardha Hanuman, half split, straighten the left leg. You're welcome to keep it here. You're welcome to put blocks under the hands. If you're going into your full split Hanumanasana, do so mindfully. Slide the left heel through, right knee back, grabbing any props if you use them on the first side like I did. That's if you need to use them. I know that I do, so I'm grabbing them. Square off your hips to the front of the mat. So I need to bring my right hip forward, my left hip back a little bit. If you prefer, you can keep hands down or blocks under the hands, or if you're stable like I am, you can lift the arms, take your hands to opposite elbows, just switch the grip from the first side. Again, using your breath as a guide. It just feels like a really nice stretch after, being sick and when you're sleeping a lot and resting, right? Big stretches tend to feel real good. Getting the air moving. One more breath. Let's release hands back down to the mat. Carefully come out, slide the left heel in, the right knee in, removing props to the side. Pigeon pose. Sit tall, keep the hips level, use props as you need, and if you're good to go, walk the hands out, lower the forehead down, and let's give it another deep breath or two. And coming out, slide the hands back, lift the head, the chest up. Roll to your outer left hip and sweep the right leg around. Lower down onto your back. Keep the knees bending as we wind down. Feel free to go right into your shoulder stand Sarvangasana inversion. If you're doing that today, you can stay on your back in Supta Baddha Konasana, right? Restorative or any other restorative stretch. I'm going to be doing a modified shoulder stand. Again, keeping in line with taking things just a little bit easier today. So I'm grabbing a block. You can do the same or use a bolster or a blanket, lifting the hips and starting with a supported bridge pose, essentially. Find a comfortable spot for the prop behind the pelvis. Lift the legs. You can bend the knees if the knees need to bend. Just try keeping your heels over the hips, dropping the arms out, and let's give it another 2 or 3 deep breaths. Stay focused. Letting the healing breath move through the body. All right, moving the breath improves circulation, which helps encourage healing in the body. Let's slowly lower. If you're upside down, come out, take your counter stretch. I'm going to be doing a supported fish pose, so straightening out the legs. If you did shoulder stand, do fish pose on the back, or you can roll onto your belly for cobra. I'm placing a block between the shoulder blades, and then the head drops back. If you're in Supta Baddha Konasana, you can fold the knees in. You can windshield wiper the knees, whatever feels good as a release for the hips and the low back. Let's hold for another deep breath or two. Oh, I could stay here for a really long time. I love supported fish pose. And of course, if you have the time to do so, you're welcome to hold it here, by all means. I'm going to be coming out, so I'm releasing, rolling off to my side to remove the block. And then I'm going to come back up to a seated position. So feel free to release out, return onto your backs, and hug the knees in. Maybe rock a little, maybe take a happy baby pose. And if you're ready, you've certainly earned your Shavasana today. Settle back into space, extending out the legs. You can always roll up a blanket behind the knees to support the low back, or you can cover yourself with a blanket to avoid getting too chilly. Separate the feet, turn the palms up, and close your eyes. We're letting go of the Ujjayi breath. Letting go of movement, letting go of the practice, nothing else to do, just be where you are, letting the body have this time to restore and recover so you feel better stepping off the mat than when you first stepped on. Feel free to remain in your Shavasana for as long as you have time for. I will leave you here. Thank you again for sharing your practice with me. Until we meet again on the mat, Hari Om.